Municipal Council. I'd like to call this meeting to order, the opening business. We'll first of all have the invocation by Community Service Director Von Sullivan, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Ray. If everyone would please stand.
Would you bow with me, please? Gracious Heavenly Father, we're blessed to be in your presence this evening, Father, and we thank you so much for this evening and the opportunity to assemble in freedom and conduct the business of this great city. Father, be with these men and women this evening as they have many decisions before them. I ask your blessing of discernment be upon them, and that the wisdom and that only you can give would be upon them this evening. Father, thank you for their willingness to serve in this capacity and the sacrifice they make for this city. Father, I ask your protection be upon all those who are all over the world this evening, guaranteeing our freedom as a nation. And Father, I ask your blessing of peace and mercy be upon them and their loved ones here at home while they're away. Thank you so much for the gift of forgiveness and freedom from sin that we have been given through your Son's death on the cross. We ask all of this in your Son's holy name. Amen.
Amen. Would you please face the flag and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Next item is community-related announcements.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I find Rick so intriguing with his thoughts over here.
That was all my fault.
No, I don't have any specific ones. I just do. We talked about briefly upstairs the foot golf. I want to give another shout out to Vaughn and Parks and Rec. Man, what a fantastic event we had at the foot golf opening. Everybody just was on point and a really professional event. I just want to tell you, good job. We really had a great time over there, Vaughn. That's all I got.
You're not going to mention your hole in one, sir?
I wasn't going to brag, but I did get a hole in one. Thank you for letting me do that.
Any other announcements?
Just two quick ones. We did receive our April sales tax check. Unfortunately, we saw a decrease compared to the same period last year of $107,000. That puts us for the year below our last year collections to date of at $681,000 compared to projection. It puts us at $213,000 below the projection. Also, wanted to brag on the Parks and Recreation Department for putting on another great daddy-daughter dance over at the Reed Center.
One other item I just picked up. April 12th through 18th is National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. Previously, we've recognized our dispatchers for police, fire, and EMS in a formal setting, and it's kind of snuck up on us this year, but wanted to keep those folks in mind this week. They do a super job down in the 911 center. Mike Bauer does a good job down there keeping those folks lined out. And when I was a policeman, we always used to say that they tell us where to go. So we appreciate those folks and all the fine work that they do. Next item of business, we have Mr. Bob Zarning with the RSVP in Central Oklahoma. He wants to make a presentation downstairs, and I'll meet you down there, Bob.
Thank you. Retired Senior Volunteer Program of Central Oklahoma, RSVP, actively engages senior volunteers in an effort to address essential community needs throughout the Central Oklahoma, and we've been doing this since 1973. We have 78 RSVP members that volunteer within Midwest City, and they contributed 18,520 hours in 2014. Service included Literacy Link, Middale Food Pantry, Midwest Regional Medical Center, Midwest City Senior Pantry, Mobile Meals of Midwest City, Monroney Middle School, Midwest City Police Department, Cottage Park Senior Living Assistance, and VITA. According to an independent sector's wage value of volunteer hours is $20.88 per hour. Based on the hours we've served in Midwest City, I have a ceremony check in the amount of $386,698 to present to the city of Midwest City.
Thank you so much, Bob, and we'll get a picture here. And I just would like to say that volunteerism is a very important part of the community in Midwest City, as it is through all of Oklahoma and all of the United States. I've really been blessed to be a part of the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program that we just finished last Thursday. Was our last night, and I'm really kind of glad it's over. But we just really help a lot of people on that, and some of the people that work in several of the other programs that Bob just mentioned and alluded to, we're active in that program, and they're really fine folks, and their heart's with the community, and we appreciate that so much.
Thank you. Appreciate the time sharing it.
Get a big picture of the check here, Bob.
Okay.
May not turn out. All right. Thank you very
All
much,
right,
Bob.
thank you, Dean.
All right, I'm going by memory. I think the next program, or the next item, is our partners in the recycling component, and they're with Republic, and I think we're ready for that, Billy.
Republic Services has partnered with several municipalities for a curbside single-stream recycling program.
We have created the Seal of Excellence to recognize those cities that have over 70% participation. That's twice the national average. We're so proud to present this seal to Midwest City.
We're extremely proud of Midwest City residents for diverting over 2,600 tons from our landfills.
The waste that's collected at the curbside, or the trash that's collected, that ends up in a landfill. That's not the place that it needs to be. There's a big savings if they can pull those recyclables out of that waste stream. Single-stream recycling is fairly new for the Oklahoma City market. Basically, you're allowed to put all your recycled goods in one container. You don't have to sort it at your house or in your garage or at the curb. Single stream is by far easier for the residents to participate in. And participation is what you want. You make it convenient for the residents and they will participate.
In 2014, the city saved the dumping fees on 2,600 tons in that 1 year alone. Since we've implemented recycling, I've been approached by numerous constituents who are very impressed with the recycling program, and many of them say that they recycle way more stuff than they throw away.
We see the vision for the recycling for our single-stream program taking over and spreading throughout Oklahoma, and we're just proud to be a part of that.
Mr. Mayor, Council, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm David Higgins. I am the General Manager for Republic Services of Central Oklahoma. I am honored to be before you tonight with my colleague, Carrie Miller. She's our Municipal Services Manager. And we are here tonight to present the city of Midwest City with Republic Services Seal of Recycling Excellence. Our partnership began, as the mayor mentioned, our partnership began in 2013 and is a fledgling recycling program, as the city didn't have one before that time. Republic Services all-in-one recycling took off. I think the citizens definitely grabbed a hold of it and welcomed it, and it shows in the level of participation, right? We have over 70% participation with the city of Midwest City, which is twice the national average. And so to have a fledgling recycling program come out that strong says a lot for the leadership of the city of Midwest City. It says a lot for the staff, and it also says a lot for the citizens. So it's with my honor that we present you and your staff, Bill, Paul, if you could join us, with the recycling, Republic Services Seal of Recycling Excellence. Congratulations. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Beautiful. Right. Bill. Right, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Oh, what's happening with it? Oh, down below? Okay, how about this? Just don't check. Okay. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. No, you missed your turn. Special thanks to Republic for coming out with us this evening, and we're very pleased with your service. As was indicated earlier, they do a great job, and we're really appreciative of the support we've got from the citizens of Midwest City to make this program work. It's really been a great thing, and we hope this continues many years in the future, and I'm sure that it will. Thank you so much. Councilman McClure, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm so sorry I didn't tell you guys upstairs. I'm really excited about a project we had this last week. We partnered with the Rotary Club. Ed Miller ran that for us. And then Jeff with the Neighborhood Services, through our Restore Midwest City program, they identified 3 families in need in Ward 1 who needed some help. Our Rotarians went out, cut a bunch of trees down, did a great job for that family. And then the county Shine offenders, folks who've been sentenced to community service, went and actually had to pick up all the brush and clean that up for us. So it was a really good effort. I want to just tell you guys about that. It was really neat. We were really excited about it.
All right, and I can't believe I did this, but I also want to recognize staff for the recycling project. Bill and Paul, you guys did a great job putting that program together, and all the background work from all the city employees that worked. And of course, we owe a debt of gratitude to our city manager, Guy Henson, and also to Tim Lyon for their part in that thing. It's been a great vision. It's been very successful, and we're really appreciative to our city staff as well. Next item is a consent agenda. Okay, these items are placed on the consent agenda so that all members of the city council by unanimous consent can approve routine agenda items by one motion. If any item proposed by the consent agenda does not meet with the approval of all the council members or members of the audience wish to discuss proposed item with the council, that item will be removed and heard in regular order. Councilman McClure wants to pull item 2.
Did I see the wrong one?
That's the one on Stoltz Communication.
I didn't mean to. I meant the one about the strategic plan.
That's on discussion items.
I didn't mean that, and we'll talk about it then.
Entertain a motion to approve. Have a motion and a second to approve all items on the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item is discussion items.
This is a discussion and consideration of appointing members to the Economic Development Advisory Committee established by the Economic Development Commission at its January 27th, 2015 meeting. At this point, we're looking for 2 appointments from the City Council.
I nominate Ed Miller.
Have a nomination for Ed Miller.
Second.
Do we do them both at the same time?
I did nominate Pat Burns. So I'd entertain a motion for those 2.
Okay, move to approve both of them. Second.
A motion and a second to approve Ed Miller and Pat Burns of the Economic Development Advisory Committee. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Item D2.
Item D2 is discussion consideration of approving a proposal for a strategic visioning retreat from Strategic Government Resources. You have a proposal from Strategic Government Resources. It's a firm that provides various services to the city as well as to many other municipalities within the state of Oklahoma and Texas. Would be for providing a strategic visioning process for the city council and city staff.
Discussion on this item?
I initially called Guy, and then I bugged Guy to death about a strategic visioning project, and now I'm arguing against it. So the consistency of my argument is incredibly terrible. But I didn't know it was going to cost this much. After having sat through some of the meetings upstairs, and we're looking at really saving money and needing to put money on certain things that are really high priority, I think a strategic plan is incredibly important. I think we should do it. I'd like to just kind kind of see us get into a room together with a group of us for 5 hours and yell at each other and not spend that 17 grand. That's my personal opinion. I was wondering what the input of the group may be. Yelling is purely optional.
Don't want to yell, but to do this correctly, and we really need somebody that's outside our group to facilitate it, because they can guide it, because we'll get off and we'll be yelling and screaming, and they can control that somewhat and keep us focused on where we want to go. And I think you really need a facilitator, and it's going to cost some money. But so I agree with you. I hate to spend it.
You hate to spend the money, but it's an investment towards a goal, some things that we need to achieve and look at doing and get have a direction. So I feel like it's an investment.
It is budgeted this year. We put in $20,000 in the budget, so it's not something that we would be going into fund balance for.
Any other discussion?
We haven't convinced him, I can see.
I'm good.
Okay. I move to approve.
In the full amount of
In the
the
full amount, yes.
17?
If we can get by cheaper by giving the hotel room cheap, do that.
I would not put in a dollar amount, because we have some things that, last time we did this, we got into a problem with getting a specific number, and then we had travel and so forth. That's why I wrote it to just approve the proposal.
But you have to do a purchase order.
I will take care of the purchase order.
So, okay, how about this? I move that we accept this, not to exceed the 20,000 budgeted for it.
That would be great, thank you.
Have a second? Have a motion and a second to approve item 2 to the maximum expenditure of $20,000. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I trust your judgment.
So one more time.
I voted yes. I trust your judgment.
Okay. Motion carries. Item D3.
We have to post that, right, Kathy?
I'm sorry, I have to post what? Oh, as a meeting, yes, it will be a special meeting, yes, sir.
Okay.
And anyone may want to attend that may want to, so.
They're so exciting.
What if we have 50, 20 people?
Okay, third item is discussion, consideration of creating a review committee and appointing members to serve on the committee to review the proposed changes and recommendations to the residential parking restrictions in Section 24-203 of the Midwest City Code. The staff is recommending the formation of a council committee to review recommendations from our neighborhood associations and the need to make changes to the current ordinances addressing residential parking restrictions. The ordinance was originally passed in '99, has been changed 4 times, trying to clarify and address enforcement issues. The ordinance commonly referred to as soft surface ordinance originally allowed parking on the grass only on the side of the drive furthest from the front door. The original ordinance also allowed for waivers to be granted by the city manager if additional parking was not available on the side furthest from the front door. Allowing residents to park on grass and only on one side of the driveway led to ruts in the yard and mud in the streets. The current ordinance requires improvements to the parking surface for soil stabilization, moves the additional parking to the side closest to the front door, and does away with all waivers. Neighborhood Services receives many phone and email complaints about parking. We've had numerous meetings trying to address some of the complaints, and in order to facilitate feedback from our residents, Mr. Stroh attended 22 Neighborhood Association meetings, explaining that if there were any changes, that the council would, that we would make sure that we bring those back to the association. So we provided you some pictures of some of the more flagrant violations, shall we say, and some of the issues that we get to deal with. So we would suggest or request the council consider appointing a three-person committee that can sit down with staff and work through some of the nuances of trying to come up with a better ordinance to address this issue.
Okay. Public discussion item. Glenn Goldschlager signed up to speak on this issue. Got anything, Glenn? That was a
Bring the music with you.
We have a time frame that we're going to have these.
I would,
It takes me to get down there.
Why would I already know that you have an X-Files ringtone?
You would probably, yeah.
we can specify that.
Name and address, please.
Glenn Goldschlager,
I'd say 3
1409
months.
Evergreen Circle.
No more than
Of
3
all the
months.
code violations there is, the only one that can move is a vehicle. So what happens with this is no matter what you do, it's going to end up being code enforcement's 8 to 5, 5 days a week. The violators leave at 8 in the morning, they go to their job, they come back, they park in their yard at 6 o'clock at night, or they park a truck over the weekend. While you're considering this, I just want you to consider that there has to be some way to actually enforce this all the time, instead of just having a 40-hour ordinance, which is what we have now.
Glenn, we're citing people, maybe this is what you're talking about, maybe not. We're citing people when we can see the ruts in the grass, regardless of
That's
cars there or
true.
not.
I'd like to do it before we end up with ruts in the grass.
I understand
15th
that. I
Street
agree.
is a perfect example. That's just a disaster. And in the weekends are when people come to determine whether they want to live in your community or not. They don't look for a house during the week. They look for a house on the weekends. And you drive down Midwest Boulevard and 10 houses have cars and trucks parked in their yards. It's not conducive to bringing the kind of people we want the Midwest City to be here. I'm not real interested in having the police department doing it either. I think they've got enough on their plate, and that's what's going to happen is, well, code enforcement's not here, let's let police department do it. Police department doesn't have the job to be enforcing code enforcement. Even though they can, they shouldn't be. But as you have your discussions, I just want you to consider making sure this ordinance is enforced all the time. That's all I want. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Glenn. I'm certain that, as we did with the Waste Committee that we recently had, enforcement was an issue for that, and I'm sure they'll address that at this time. Thank you for your input.
I'd make a motion to nominate Jim Ray, Jeff Moore, and myself.
Second.
It took you that long to figure out you weren't on the list?
What just happened? No.
No.
I was here.
He said he did it the
I was
first
here
time.
in '99, and clearly I messed it up so bad that you cannot put me back on the committee.
Not by that.
You have to redo what I did already.
But the next 3 I was involved in.
So who's not guilty in
No,
this
is
group?
that good with you?
I would love to serve on this. I am so stretched with time. It depends on when you plan on having these meetings.
Well, I know that you will also be unavailable
The entire
Right.
time.
during May.
I'm gone.
I understand.
Will this make up for my absences?
No, I'm afraid not. I think, we've certainly been dealing with this since at least 1999, so I think we've got a little bit of time.
Well, okay, my issue is not,
What part of the day? I think it's,
I have to do evenings, so
I'm sorry,
I have to do evenings.
So-
Or 7 a.m., because I don't think you guys are going to do.
so tell me when you would prefer to go.
We'll structure these around your personal life, Jim.
They'll come to the workshop to meet with you there.
And
How's your living
Jeff,
room?
how
Can
about you?
seat 3 people in there?
yes, I can.
Okay, there you go.
I'm done.
Do
I second.
Wait a minute, do I have to serve snacks?
I'll bring you the snacks.
Gee, you gotta go.
All right, sound like a
What was
motion.
that? I
Do we have a
didn't
second?
I'm
even
learning
hear it.
some negotiations from our HR director over there.
Second. Second.
Is everybody good with that?
To your house.
Oh, you can use my house. I don't want to be in the committee. I'll give you a key.
No, you just serve,
Jeff, you good? Jeff, you good? You good? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Railroad runs to the middle of the house.
Next item is discussion, consideration of passing and approving an ordinance amending the Midwest City Municipal Code, Chapter 38, Garbage and Refuse, by amending Article 2, Municipal Collection and Disposal Service, Section 18-29, fee for excessive amounts of garbage, yard waste, and brush, and large household items, establishing effective date and providing for repealer and severability. The proposed ordinance implements the recommendations from the Solid Waste Review Committee that pertain to special pickups. It amends the ordinance to stipulate the fees charged for residential curbside special pickups and limits Category 1 pickups to 4 per year and any additional pickups per calendar year at Category 2 rate. It also stipulates that the billing shall be issued at the address of the actual requested services. Non-residents will have to pay the higher Category 2 rate for special pickups.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
Next item, discussion consideration of passing and approving an ordinance amending Chapter 43, Water, Sewer, Sewage Disposal, and Stormwater Quality, Article 2, Water of the Midwest City Code by amending Division 1 generally, Section 43-18, installation fees, meter installation, etc., and by amending Division 3 meters, Section 43-52, generally disturbing meters, and providing for repealer and severability. In addition, in these two sections are needed to add the terminology for the additional parts for the new meter technology currently being installed. Section 43-18A would require builders to use the meter box that works best with the new meters for all new developments. These will be obtained from the city and the price will be included in the meter fee. Section 43-18E would allow recovery of the equipment costs during construction when the contractors may damage the meters that have been installed. Terminology came from Section 4352A, written for the owners for consistency. Staff recommends approval.
When does this take effect?
When you bill it,
30 days?
30 days.
I haven't mowed my yard yet.
Put an emergency on it?
No.
Oh, this,
No, you cannot.
Hey, Kathy, can we put an emergency on
No,
this?
you may not.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. New business, public discussion. We have Andy Cornelius, I believe, who wishes to speak for new business. If you'd like to come forward, sir, and state your name and your address for the record.
My name is Andy Cornelius. I live at 9112 Oak Hollow Drive. And I'm proud to be a citizen of Midwest City. I'm proud of our council meetings because it's really grassroots America. Prayer and flag salute, the way you all conduct business. I really appreciate it as a citizen. What I would like to do is, I want to thank y'all first of all, the council and our hospital trust for helping us build the Veterans Memorial, which I call the Shining Star of Midwest City. I'm on the committee that built it and still on the committee, maintaining it. And we're very proud, as you all are. And it's been a great tribute to our city, but presence of Tinker Field and all, we probably need to do that a long time ago, but it's done. Thank you again for that. My purpose to be here tonight is regarding the flag. To my knowledge, in the United States of America, there's only, as far as I know, one golf course clubhouse without an American flag, and it's in Midwest City at John Conrad Golf Course. I don't know if you've thought about it. There's generals and colonels and everybody else that plays out there. It seemed like somebody would have said something, but I would like to suggest or propose that we get a bucket of cement and a hole in the ground, a flagpole, an American flag, welcome bricks there be a perfect place for it. And also, I think it'd be very fitting if we made a plaque at the base honoring Tinker Field, because we wouldn't be here. Midwest City wouldn't have ever been heard of if it wasn't for Tinker Field. And that's my suggestion, and as a citizen, I'd be very proud to see that. And I know of at least one Marine named Von Sullivan that is for that. I've visited with him about it. And whatever you need to do from there, submitting it as a proposal, I would very much appreciate your considering that.
There's a flag at the little one, right? The little golf course?
No, the John Conrad.
I know, but there is one.
There is one at
At Hidden
Nine
Creek.
Hole.
At Hidden Creek.
No, maybe as I think about it, he's right.
I'm sure, I'm
He
sure he's
did
right.
20 years ago before they built that new pavilion thing. And I think that it was just an oversight. We had one out there before that pavilion.
Was there one there?
There was one before that pavilion was built, but that was, what, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Let's put the flag back up.
I've
Well,
been heard.
Andy, of course, we very much appreciate your coming forward and all the kind words you had to say about the council and the community, and we feel Midwest City is a great place to live and work as well. And although we can't discuss this item as a council because it wasn't on the agenda from the onset, I wouldn't be surprised if a flagpole and a flag doesn't show up there just pretty quick.
That'd be great. When you dig the hole, let me know. I can come over.
Well, thank you so much.
As a,
Will you come over and dig the hole for
yeah,
us?
there you go. I didn't bring my shovel. I've got a little reminder. We all know what the flag looks like. And I was gonna leave this with you. And also, I have 10 copies of the commentary on the Pledge of Allegiance by Red Skelton. Some of you might be familiar with that.
I've seen that.
It's very, if
Very
you'd
much.
like, I'll read it. It takes 3 minutes,
You know, I think,
if we have time.
I think we've all seen it.
Y'all
In
familiar
the
with
interest
it?
of time,
Here's
I'd
your
like-
10 copies.
Well, thank you so much, and
And,
we'll pass that on. If you'd
and-
leave that with Patrick there, we appreciate you coming forward, Andy, and you have a great evening,
There's
okay?
a small flag there mysteriously placed a few months ago, right there at the spot in front of the welcome sign.
All right.
I don't know how it got there, but this one will replace it, I guess, until we get the big one.
Okay.
I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
your
All right.
consideration.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Okay, great.
I want one.
Thank you, Patrick.
He said there's 10 copies? I want one.
Okay, any other new business or public discussion? Executive session.
Executive session.
Move to go executive
A
session.
motion for an executive session?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's down farther. Move to go executive session.
Motion? Have two motions. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to go to executive session. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? We'll be in executive session.